In my book, Calling Us Home, there is a chapter on power animals. One thing about power animals is that most people have an understanding of what they are. Most people are somewhat fascinated by them. Also, people who may not have any interest in shamanism otherwise. When you bring up the topic power animals, it's as if human beings have some kind of remembrance about having been connected to the power animals or the animal spirit guides. So this remembrance is deep within us in our DNA. It's a ancestral remembrance, and it is resonating with our primal self. Now, power animals are benevolent spirit beings. They are guardians, they are protectors, they are guides, and they also help us be strong and healthy. You could even say that power animals strengthen our immune system. The way this works is that shamans traditionally have always sought to fill themselves with spiritual power. And the source of that spiritual power can be power animals and other sources that basically mean that shamans traditionally seek to fill themselves with power that expands their consciousness, makes them stronger, and makes them able to perceive things that we otherwise maybe wouldn't be able to perceive. And this perception has to do with the fact that the human being has two minds. We have the rational mind, which is connected to logic, it's connected to intellect, and it has to do also with the senses. One of the functions of the rational mind is that it interprets what we perceive through the senses. Then we have another mind, which we call the inner mind. The inner mind has to do with the soul. It has to do with symbols, it has to do with dreams, it has to do with the images, it has to do with spirituality, and it also very much has to do with pure intuition. Now, if we take an example here, let's say that you are dreaming at night and you are walking down a street and you see a cat. That experience in the dream feels totally real. And then we can ask a relevant question. Who is dreaming? Who is experiencing walking down the street and seeing the cat? Because if we take a closer look at it, the fact is that your eyes are closed. You are asleep. So it is a different part of you that is seeing the cat. It is not your ordinary self, so to say. So this is where the inner mind comes in. And if we say that you are awake, you're walking down the street, and you see a cat in waking reality, in ordinary reality, then here you have the possibility begin to train to bridge the outer mind and the inner mind. And this is done by heightening your awareness in that moment when you see the cat on the street. It's done by expanding your consciousness in that moment. This can be done, for example, by appreciating the beauty of the cat, appreciating the movements of the cat, and the power of the cat, and maybe going even further and acknowledging the beauty of the trees that are alongside the street, and the sky and the sun, and heightening your awareness. When you begin to do that, then you begin to connect to the inner mind, and you build the bridge between the two. Now the outer mind is one where we have a lot of training. In the modern world, the outer mind is trained. The school system trains us in developing and relying on the outer mind. And the outer mind is seen by many to be basically the only reality, whereas the inner mind is not generally acknowledged as real, and therefore it is underdeveloped. We are not trained in how to use it and how to access the inner mind. So by beginning to become aware of this other mind, the inner mind, and beginning to train it, beginning to build a bridge to it, you are then taking a step that shamans have taken throughout the ages. And to begin to connect with the inner mind is basically the faculty through which you can connect with power animals. And so you are taking steps that our ancestors have taken for thousands of years. Shamans have taken these steps for thousands of years. And you will begin to open up a whole new realm, a whole new dimension within yourself. And that means an expansion of your reality. Thank you for watching.